Hello, welcome to the Stoppage Time Penalty Show on the Amateur Football YouTube channel. It's here, your host, and I have Chris Walker with me. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, not too bad to Breeze, man. Thanks for having me on again, man.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. We are going to run down all of the results from Div 1 to Div 2, and we'll be talking about a few teams, a few results as well. So we're gonna go straight into it. Straight into it. So let's start from Division 1. Division 1, Herne Bay 3, Metro Gas 1, Johnson and Phillips 0, Independent 7, Leone Stars 0, Sporting Santos 10, LSU Masters 3, Kauai 3, Kauai win on penalties, and New Ash Green Vets 0, Glebe 2. And this is how the league table is looking right now. Independent first, LSU Masters second, Sporting Santos third, Charcoal fourth, Leone Stars fifth, Glebe sixth, New Park seventh, Metrogas eighth, and Johnson and Phillips ninth. And then these are the fixtures for next week. Glebe versus LSU Masters, Metrogas versus Independent, Sporting Santos versus New Park, and Charcoal versus I think there's a bit of a discrepancy. Charcoal are playing Independent. I think the Metro Gas game will be rescheduled. So Chris, let's kind of talk about the results today. Let's talk about Johnson and Phillips versus Independent. Do you think Independent can actually win Division 1?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no reason why they can't. They're a really good side, and we've played them this season as well. So they've got some really good players, and I think their setup is really really good. In terms of the first division, I don't know a lot of the teams up there, but of the ones I do know, they are one of the best ones, and they're on a fantastic run at the moment. So it's no surprise to see them at the top. It's no surprise to see them winning games 7-0. They seem to be on a very good run at the moment. So there's no reason why they can't keep going.
What was your biggest takeaway from the Hollington and Independent game on the side of the Independent squad?
Um, the biggest takeaway I would say is probably how organised they were. That I've always known they're a good side. I've played against them a couple of times, but they are a really organised team. They've got a plan for every game. They stick to it. They're very, very, they can be flexible in their style of play as well. So, they're not going to beat you one way. So, if something's not working, they can try other things. And I think I really, really enjoyed watching them play against Hollington. Actually, it was quite a good tactical battle. So, it quite surprised. I'd never saw that side of their game before. They, being able to sort of soak up pressure the way they did. So, I was impressed to see that, to be honest.
Santos 10, Leone Stars 0. Santos have now picked up a little bit of form, but I mean, as Division 1 is the kind of flagship division. What is your opinion about seeing scores like that? Double digits and 7-0 wins.
I mean, to be honest, I don't think that's something that you should see that often in the top division, but you don't know what the circumstances are always, obviously be availability of players and, things of that nature that can affect results sometimes. And, you don't always get the full story. So I'm not here to make, like I said, I don't know Leone Stars, I've never played against them. So I don't, they're in the first division for a reason, I assume. And, but you don't expect to see score lines like that in the top division. You expect it to be a bit more competitive than that. And, and judging by some of the other teams in maybe Div 2, they would think, they could definitely compete a little bit better than that against the top side. So, like I said, I don't really know, to be honest. The Breeze, it's not something you expect to see in a top division.
Do you think there's a possible merger between Division 1 and Division 2?
I don't think I'm the person to ask that, to be honest. You probably have to ask the league committee and things of that nature. It's like, there are some really good sides in our division, as you've seen this season, and we've played against, teams from our league have played teams in the first division and really competed with the top sides in that division. So, would feel like they can, play week in, week out against that quality of opposition and make it a much more entertaining sort of product. At the end of the day, that's what everybody wants, I guess.
Yeah. The LSU Masters 3, Kouya 3, Kouya from Division 2. They beat Masters through the penalty, through penalties. What's happening to LSU Masters? They kind of lost in the London Cup. And yes, they won the league, but you would expect them to at least get the win against Kouya. What's your kind of opinion about LSU Masters right now?
We played them in a friendly earlier in the season. I think while they were unable to play league games, and they are a really good side, but it's the same again. You don't know what the circumstances are, what's going on within their dressing room, what's happening, around the club. Like I said, there's not like anyone I speak to there, so I wouldn't know. Kouya are a good side, and it's the second week in a row we've seen a Division 2 side play against a Division 1 side and somehow manage to prevail on penalties, which just goes to show that maybe the gap isn't quite as wide as you think it is.
And again, for Kouya, that much that must give them that kind of positive drive now going into the league, beating LSU Masters, right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, they've been on a good run themselves recently. I mean, they beat us a couple of weeks ago in a pretty good game, which I think we were probably a little bit unlucky as well. But they have got some good players in their side as well, so they're not a team that can be counted out. And the second division is looking really tight at the top now, so they are definitely one of the contenders in terms of pushing for promotion.
Yeah. And just looking again at the Division 1 table, but again, yes, Independent have the points on the board. Yes, they've played a little bit more than their rivals, but what's your opinion? Would you rather have the points on the board or the games in hand?
Points on the board always more important. I think it's anything can happen in any game, so the games in hand don't really mean anything. I think you have to win your games, and when you put points on the board, it puts pressure on those chasing behind. So it looks like it's going to be quite tight at the end, but like I said, Independent have put themselves in a good position now to push on at the business end of the season and probably try and push to win the league. I think they're in a good position.
Yeah. So let's go to Division 2. Catford 8, Parkwood Rangers 0, Hollington 1, LSU Legends 1, and the Norwood Lakers, Bow Street, not too sure exactly the situation there. And this is how the league looks right now. Catford top, Wallenham second, Hollington third, Kouya fourth, Seagas fifth, Bow Street Runners sixth, Parkwood seventh, and LSU Legends eighth. So yeah, let's kind of talk about the kind of Catford game. Catford 8, Parkwood 0. Chris, you scored 5 of the goals.
Yeah.
How was our first half performance? How would you sum that up?
To be honest, I think we were actually quite slow in the first sort of 5 minutes of the game. I'm not sure. We were saying we wanted to start positively on the front foot and really try to push them back. I think that kind of didn't happen in the first 5 minutes, but we did managed to break through and score early goal, which I think settled us down and it got us into our rhythm, our passing patterns, and we was then able to then start really dominate the game and press home the advantage that we had at that point. So the first half was really good. I think once we'd scored, I think it was 4 or 5 goals. Pedro and Yinka then just decided, right, let's just, get to the half. Let's keep what we've got. Let's not give anything away at the back. And I think that's one of the lessons for us that we have to learn, and we will get better at it, at sort of, just knowing when to, just keep it safe for 5-10 minutes and get us to the next period of the game.
You know what, Chris? I think you've like played down your own performance, because in the first half, I mean, left foot, right foot. Again, I think you are probably one of the best strikers in the ball in all divisions. Your own personal performance. I mean, what was it that was different from this week, from the week against Bow Street Runners, for you personally?
Right. I don't think it was any different. My mindset's always the same, and I've always tried to play, to whatever the defenders are offering me. If they want me to try and go in behind them, I'll do that. If they want me to hold the ball up, whatever they offer me, I'll take it. And I try to stay as positive as I can in terms of what I'm trying to create. I want to get shots off early. I don't want to give them a chance to settle. I want to keep moving all the time. So it doesn't really change for me. The only thing that's happened in the last couple of games is I've just managed to get a few chances and take them. I've played in midfield pretty much all season other than the last 2 weeks. So going up front, I think it's just sort of just changed the dynamics of our team, and I'm just trying to be as direct and as positive as I possibly can.
And the second half performance, how would you summarize our performance and also Parkwood's?
Well, they definitely changed their mindset in the second half. I think we knew the game was won at that point. I think what was important for us was just to make sure that we could stay as solid as we could, not give them any, easy opportunities. We knew they were going to come back at us, but they started to pass the ball a little bit more and get a little bit of confidence, as I think we started to tire as well in the second half. But we kept our discipline. We didn't want to give anything away, and keeping the clean sheet. We would constantly saying this throughout that second half. We've got to keep a clean sheet. It's a growing and a learning experience for us to be able to then shut games out like that. And I think we did a good job of that today.
Yeah. Going on to the second game, Hollington won, LSU Legends won. Again, I don't know if if it's a shock, but it's like 2 games now that Hollington haven't won. What's your initial thoughts about that result?
On the surface, it seems a surprising result, just based on what Hollington have been able to do in the league this season. But it's football; anything can happen. You turn up on the day, you don't know who's available, who isn't. And no team in this league is to be taken for granted. You have to respect every opponent. Anyone can get a result on the day, so you have to turn up to every game prepared to go to battle and understand that if you're not up to it, then you can get caught out. And I think like I said, I don't know what happened in that game today, but it looks like it was a good result for the Legends. That's what I would judge, just based on the way the season's gone so far. So
yeah, and kind of going to the Division 2 table again. Catford are first. Again, having I guess that the points on the board puts us in good stead, right?
Of course. I mean, points on the board, that's all that matters. That's all you can do. Put as many points on the board as you can. Put pressure on the other teams to then keep up or to try and catch you. games in hand don't count for anything at this point. You have to win those games still. So, as long as we can keep winning, it will keep the pressure up on the other teams to do the same. And, if the opportunity for us to then, be outright leaders of the league, happens to materialize, then, hopefully we can take advantage and try and achieve our objectives for the season.
Yeah, because literally from first all the way down to fifth, if Seagas win the majority of the games, it's still a wide open title race, right?
Any of those 5 teams can be promoted still. It's still a lot to play for. Still a lot of games to play as well. You look at it and you think, especially when you've got a lot of games in hand, sometimes it might get to a point where you're then playing double bankers and anything can happen in those situations. It's not ideal. And, if it gets a stage of the season where that happens, then anything can happen. But yeah, any of those 5 teams, and they're all good. We're all good sides. I think we've played everyone other than Hollington in the top 5 now. So yeah, it should be quite a good running at the end.
So next week we don't have a game. I believe most of the players will probably be at the Independent Charcoal semi-final League Cups. The London Vets Cup, sponsored by yours truly. Score prediction for you. I'd love to get that.
Ooh. I think it's going to be quite a tight game again. I don't think there's much between the teams at the moment as a score prediction. I'm going to go 2-1 Independent at this point. I think Independent are going to get the result. I think they're on a really good run, and I think they can score the win next week.
Cool. And Chris, I just want to say, and probably everyone at Catford will actually say, please wear that Ronaldinho headband, because you've literally transformed into prime Ronaldinho today.
Oh mate, that's funny. That's funny. I don't know. We'll see. He might be back next time. Who knows?
Oh dear. But
I got some pictures today. I don't think Ash liked it.
Oh dear. But honestly, Chris, thank you so much for coming on. And again, just to say, Chris got man of the match for us as well. Scored 5 terrific goals. Again, left foot, right foot. Just a kind of constant menace, movement as well. Just kind of brought people into play as well. So fully deserved.
Thanks, bro. Thank you.
So, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week, Sunday at 8 o'clock. Please like and subscribe. Have an amazing evening and have an amazing week. See you guys later.